What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Peace Week to each and every one of you. I'm Love Coach Scott Katamas, and welcome to the Awakening World, our Saturday night edition. Well, we have been celebrating peace for the past, really 99 days. It all started with the show here, working with a lot of different organizations like Unity Earth, and all about really preparing for the International Day of Peace, which was 2 days ago on the 21st. But all this week has been Peace Week. And now that it's kind of coming to a conclusion, over 150 events, people from all over the world coming together, we're going to focus on how do we move forward and not just make it Peace Day or Peace Week, but really living our lives in peace. And I'm really excited about the people that are going to be joining us to share their wisdom. And kind of our keynote speaker is David Gershon, who is the person who's really the person creating our whole movement towards peace on earth by 2030. And David is a very beloved member of our community, and we're really happy to have him with us. And we also have with us Donna, and you've seen her on the show before, and she helps us to connect to nature in the most beautiful and wonderful way. So welcome back, Donna. It's great to have you with us. And Keishi Chai is with us again. And of course, Keishi has been on the show many times. She's a wonderful dancer, but also a wonderful artist in many ways, and someone who's been very, very dedicated to the environment. And so we're going to hear from Keishi, and she's going to bless us with some dance. So excited about that. And Joni Carly is back. I had Joni on the show when we were together in Sedona, Arizona back in March. She's an author and a big part of our Global Peace Tribe family and the Hollow Movement. So welcome, Joni. It's great to have you back on the show.
Great to be here.
It's going to be a show filled with wonderful music. I'm really excited. Maria Stark is here. Maria is one of my dearest friends and a brilliant muse and artist. And she's going to bless us with 3 different songs tonight. So welcome, Maria, to the Awakening World. It's good to have you back with us. And she'll have her microphone on when she's singing, I promise. And Omashar, of course, is with us. And so we're going to have a couple of tunes from beloved Omashar. We're excited about that. And of course, now every night we provide meditation at 6:30 p.m. And beloved Deborah Juliet will be leading our evening meditation at 6:30. And we're really grateful for that. And then her soul sister in Germany, Uda, will be doing a group KES healing for the entire group to conclude the show. And that's kind of what we've been doing lately on Saturday nights. So welcome, Deborah. It's good to have you here. And perfect timing, I see that Reverend Becky Suzik is just coming in. So in a moment, I'm going to see if I can bring Becky on to talk a little bit about things. And I do want to let people know that you can still go to peaceweek.org and learn all about what's been happening this past week. It's been an incredible week, and that's where you can find the schedule and find all the information. And hopefully in a moment, when Becky turns her camera on, I will find out how people can watch the recordings of the show. Also, or I should say, the recordings of all the events that took place at Peace Week. So Becky Suzik, I saw you come in. If you can turn your camera on, that would be wonderful. Also, I'd like to invite all the members of our audience who are watching to let us know which Peace Week events did you participate in. I know that the ones that I did, I saw a lot of you there. So let us know which events you went to. How did it touch you? What are some of the things that you experienced that really made an impression on you? And that's something that, I'll even read some of those comments or put some of the comments or even bring some of you up on camera. For example, I see Maureen Edwardson is with us. And Maureen, I'm going to put you on the spot for a moment. I know that you participated in Peace Week. What stood out for you this week?
Well, I enjoyed doing a presentation and being part of another. And most of all, what I really enjoyed, what really inspired me was Joni Carley and all of the presentations about the SDGs and the UN of what's happening in that world globally. So it really super inspired me. So I just want to thank Joni publicly for all of the preparation, the hard work, and being a room steward and bringing so much just so much potential, so many of the possibilities that are going on in that world. It really inspired me. So thank you, Joni.
Beautiful. And we'll be hearing from Joni in just a few minutes, but there she is. She was my co-host last week, and I so appreciate you jumping in, Becky.
I just flew in and my arms are killing me. No, literally, I don't know if you know that, Scott. I just got off a plane. I was at Split Rock today for the Indigenous ceremony we were actually indoors. We were at the Ramapo Community Center. And so I just flew back, just got back into my studio, my home, and saw my kids for 2 seconds and my partner for 2 seconds, and here I am. So I'm so excited to be here and to see who's here and who's going to be sharing some reflections from the week. And the beauty of Peace Week is we encourage everybody to make recordings of what happened. And some people went live, and thanks to Sign Network, some of the recordings appeared on multiple Facebook pages. You can go to facebook.com/Peace Weekend. It used to be Peace Weekend, but we're Peace Week now. But the URL is Peace Weekend, and you'll find a host of recordings there from events that actually went live onto Facebook, onto that Facebook page. And then, of course, on Unity Earth TV, on peaceweek.org / I think it's actually, I'm not sure. But I'll show you in a little bit. I'll show you how you can navigate the website and find some of the recordings, or most of the recordings, I think, if not all, from Room 1 and from the Unity Earth broadcast that began on Tuesday. And so we've got lots of ways, so we don't have to have any FOMO, any fear of missing out on anything. And for those people who had presentations that were not live on Facebook, many of our presenters did recordings and will be releasing recordings in the weeks to come. So it's something that I strongly believe that we need to take time to reflect on what we did and what happened so that we can learn and grow and share experiences with each other, because it's such an incredibly collaborative experience. So.
Well, I'm gonna go to my good friend Maria Stark, and she's gonna play an opening musical number, and then I'll come back to you, and maybe you can show us one way that people can find the recordings. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, and of course it's Saturday night, and We always have lots of music, always on all of our shows, but Saturday nights are super music night. And I'm really, really happy to introduce Maria Stark. She is absolutely one of my favorite human beings on the planet. She's so incredibly talented. And when someone is this talented and this advanced as a spiritual being, it's a wonderful combination. And she's just a really cool person who happens, well, I could gush over Maria. So welcome, Maria, back to the Awakening World.
Thank you, Scott, for having me back. It's wonderful to be back, and the feelings of love and adoration and appreciation are super mutual. I just love and adore you, and happy to be here in this community during Peace Week, and I would love to open today's song Magic with a song called Temple Body, and as one of the ways to continue inspiring peace is to really acknowledge this vessel that we get to live in the world with, to be in collaboration with the muse of peace and the muse of aliveness. My body is a temple, my eyes are sacred doors, my womb the chalice vessel to receive the muse's pour. My heart is ever burning with the flame of my true song. My dance, it is emerging as an answer to the call. Presence, my sanctuary, pleasure, my sacrament. This movement emanating from the realms of reverence, an ancient wonder guiding towards my shining compass star, where all like is returning in an overflow of awe. I am the vast reunion of the heavens and the earth. I am the vase of power through which spirit flows from earth. I am the cherished daughter of the elemental poem. My body is a temple, great mystery comes home, and I pray with every step I take, praise with every move I make, worship in the holy temple body all around me. I pray with every step I give, praise with every move I live, merging with the holy temple body from within. sacred doors. My womb, the chalice vessel to receive the muses pour. My heart is ever burning with the flame of my true song. My dance, it is emerging with an answer to the call. Presence, my sanctuary, pleasure, my sacrament. This movement emanating from the riles of reverence, an ancient wonder guiding towards my shining compass star, where all I give's returning in an overflow of awe. I am the vast reunion of the heavens and the earth. I am the vase of power through which spirit flows from earth. I am the cherished daughter of the elemental poem. My body is a temple, great mystery comes home, and I pray with every step I take, praise with every move I make, worship in the holy temple, body all around me. I pray with every step I give, praise with every move I live, merging with the holy temple, body from within. And I pray with every step I give, praise with every move I live, worship in the holy temple, body all around me. I pray with every step I give, praise with every move I live, merging with the holy temple, body from within.
Oh, Maria, thank you so much.
Thank you, Scott.
The comments are beginning to come in, of course. Janet Catalina writes amazing music. I love the music, the words, the rhythm. So beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you, Janet.
And we're going to have two more songs from Maria, but I want to briefly go to one of her websites, Temple of the Muse. Tell us a little bit about Voice of Your Womb and a little bit about that part of your life.
Thank you. Well, Voice of My Womb is a body of work that has been gestating and growing for the last 8 years. I have worked with hundreds of women all over the world to work on developing their and cultivating their relationship to the voice, the connection to the womb as a source of creative power, and learning about the womb as a map and a gateway and a cauldron through which to cultivate ourselves as conduits for creative life force. So in the Temple of the Muse, and starting next October 17th, I'll be taking a group of women through a 9-month journey through many gates of the womb wisdom, opening up the voice, opening up creative practice and songwriting, and tending ourselves as vessels for the holy.
And is this online or?
This is going to be online, and we'll also be taking, for those who can join us, we're going to be going to Greece for a week in April and doing a songwriting retreat on one of the beautiful islands in Greece, and also going to see the Oracle of Delphi. So all of that is part of the journey. And if you can't make it to the Greece dates, all good. We can do the 9-month immersion online with the cohort that is forming.
That I have always wanted to go to Delphi. So I'm Greek. So
Oh, you're great. Of course. Delphi is very precious. I had the beautiful opportunity to be there almost 20 years ago. And so it feels like a wonderful return to pick up the last thread that was being woven there.
wow. Now, for everybody watching on Facebook, and I want to welcome all of our friends watching on Facebook or on Conscious Awakening Network and our other broadcast partners, you're going to find the information about Maria and this offering at templeofthemuse.com. Templeofthemuse.com. And we will be back with Maria a little bit later on in the show. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Scott. Great to be here.
I'm going to bring up our first guest, Joni Carley, and I'm also going to bring up Becky. And I would love for the two of you to share a little bit about Peace Week. Becky, if you get a chance, maybe show people how they can find the recordings. And really, if the two of you could just kind of share us a little bit about what took place this week and what stood out for both of you.
Well, it was an incredible week. I know Joni has been holding so many different pieces of this beautiful mosaic as well. And we had, as part of Peace Week, 17 different convergence rooms, and Joni stewarded one of them. Dr. Reverend Joni stewarded the deep and transformative rapid transformation room, the convergence room. And for those that are new to convergences, you might have figured out how to navigate your way. But basically, what we do is we support people over months of time in helping people to cultivate a calendar. And those people are called room stewards. And then presenters offer programs in different themed Zoom rooms that we call convergence rooms. And then we have beautiful programs that get offered, and people come in the Zoom room and have a really amazing experience with a diverse array of people with many different topics. And many times we have recordings, and we also have live streams that go out, that get broadcast for the sign members. They get shared on multiple Facebook pages. And so then we had Room 1, which is produced by the Room 1 Convergence Room by Unity Earth. Ben and Irina, they put together an incredible program as well. And then their programs were going out on Unity Earth Television. And I'm not sure if Ben's going to be joining us or not, Scott, because I know he's been going a million miles in Vancouver with all of these broadcasts as well. I can show in a minute after Joni shares a little bit about what happened in her week and what she joined and what she held for other people. So I'll pull that up, Joni, if you want to share a little bit about what happened in your room.
The other things other than my own room that I was able to get to, of course, they were fabulous. I mean, we are an amazing community and full of so many people, so much bigger than, I mean, community seems like a small word for how big this is. And something that struck me throughout, you know, we have so much information and so much good stuff, and you wonder, where is this all going? And I started to think, I work a lot with Dr. Jude Curvan, and one of the big breakthroughs that she relates is that it was demonstrated not too long ago that when information is taken away, heat gets released. So it actually is real. And I was thinking, like, look at the quality of heat that was put into, look, we are cooking, you know, and it doesn't matter. I mean, of course, go to as many of these recordings as you can go to, but we released something into the universe that's profound. And Scott, you do it every week. So you know, to do it in that kind of concentration was extraordinary. The room that I stewarded was called the Deep and Rapid Transformation Room. And that came out of something that I was at the United Nations, and I was at a meeting, and I went to say goodbye to the moderator of the conversation I had been in. And he had called on me twice during this meeting, which is very rare to get the floor twice at the United Nations. And when I went up to say hello and goodbye, he said, you know, I'm really glad that I was able to give you the floor twice, because this fringy stuff isn't so fringy anymore, is it? And we both had a good laugh, because he knew what I was going to say. I've worked with this guy for a long time. He knew the gist, that it wasn't going to be the straight and narrow kind of stuff that's usually said there. And still, though, I thought that was funny, but then I walked away and I thought, you know, we're not on the fringe of anything. We're at the center of something completely different and completely new. And so we've convened a cluster, something called a cluster. We actually got permission from the United Nations to form an official mechanism within the United Nations. And in our proposal was were the words consciousness and love. So I think is the first time the UN actually put that through. And so we brought that to Peace Week this week, that thinking. But I thought, you know, we can't do that. We can't articulate this from within the UN. We need a space of our own to bring this into a gestalt. And so I can talk about that later, Scott, of where that's headed. But the beginning, this was the beginning for us. It was Peace Week. And that's one of the great things about Peace Week is so much gets incubated. It's not just what happens during, it's the connections that are made during each piece. Maureen and I got to connect for the first time really deeply. We got to, and so many people, I know this happens throughout the entire week. And it's such an exciting part of it is the communications, the connections, the ideas that pop, the new things that get birthed out of someone just walking away and not knowing what to think. And the next day they wake up with an amazing idea.
And, you know, it is a convergence. It's about people coming together and I think really kind of hopefully creating a 100th monkey effect that instead of buying into the Matrix vision of an apocalyptic wasteland is where we're headed, recognizing that no, we actually are creating an awakening world and that peace is in our lives and we are choosing peace and that's what our future is going to hold. Absolutely.
And we have a critical mass. We just, you know, Peace Week helps us cohere that mass. And many of the things that I'm sure many of you on this call are doing help us to cohere that mass. And that's what it's all about right now. We've crossed the divide. We're in a new paradigm. It's a question of how do we get the platform set really solid?
You have written a wonderful book. I actually have it on my bookshelf. The Alchemy of Power. I got it from you when I was actually I saw you in Sedona and I ordered it and bought it the way that hopefully people here might do it through Amazon. Tell us about the Alchemy of Power.
Well, let me just backtrack a moment because I came from the United Nations directly to Sedona. And I have to tell you, it was the same conversation, a pretty different spin on it. But it was the same conversation. Everybody's looking at how do we make a better world?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do we do about this? So the Alchemy of Power came about because I had been all over the world. I've trekked the world in my own path of many paths of a spiritual path. And I was also a leadership consultant and had worked with many leaders and felt a calling to bring what I was doing to the United Nations. Excuse me. And I wanted to bring the two together because I was realizing that a lot of what was said in the leadership space was the same old, and it was formulaic. And nobody's really going to get there on a formula. Max Planck said some models are good, but all models are useful, but no model is accurate, but some are useful. Mm. And, you know, too often we have these models that are just too formulaic. And so I thought, how do we really tap into the deeper nature of ourselves, of the reality of spirit and a much bigger world? How do we tap into the metaphysics? And to me, that's where it's at. That's the work I'm doing wherever I am, whoever I'm working with, because we know physicists tell us that maybe 1 to 5% of the reality is all that we can see in the physical world. The other 95 to 99% we can't see. And yet that's the realm of causality. And we've all been conditioned to think that's kind of the airy, fairy, fluffy stuff. Most of the people on this call work in that domain or are happy enough to be in that domain. Yet still we have that little voice whispering in our ears that this isn't the valuable stuff. In the book, I go into the fluffy myth. We've all been indoctrinated into that this is inconsequential, fluffy stuff, but nothing could be farther from the truth. Metaphysics, the definition of metaphysics is the science of causality, the science and the philosophy of causality. So we've got to get to the causal level if we're going to really change the world.
Absolutely. It's 6:30 and I will come back to you afterwards because I want to hear a little bit more and we still want to hear from Becky, but I want to welcome all the people who are coming in from our kind of twin ray meditation group because at 6:30 every evening we have a meditation and beloved Deborah Juliet is our Saturday night meditator and she's also who's helped to organize all of this. And so we'll get back to Joni and Becky. We've got more music, but Deborah, I'm turning things over to you.
Thank you so much, beloved Scott, and also beloved Johnny for your beautiful words, which I can only emphasize, underline, emphasize. I do very much live in that reality, and no matter what happens, to me, that's all, yeah, at least metaphysics, if not quantum physics. It's just, it makes more sense to me than a lot on the 3D world. Every process, from thoughts to words to actions, it's just quantum physics. It's just so clear. So thank you so much for your beautiful words. Thank you. Thank you. We need more of you on this planet. So on these beautiful words, I invite you all to close your beautiful eyes and to drop with me into the universe and the womb of ultimate and infinite love, truth, and wisdom. The wisdom we all came from. Divine intelligence. We all came from and come from. And that created us. And I invite you now, if you feel like, to put your right hand on your beautiful heart and your left hand on your solar plexus chakra. And I invite you to deeply all the way into your abdomen. Love surrounds you. Life that's and we hold it now for 2 or 3 beautiful seconds, sending all our thoughts back into the universe. Everything is letting go. One more time. Deeply breathe in. To your abdomen. Divine. And we hold it now for 2 or 3 seconds. We let the oxygen do its magic within our bodies. Feel how every spark inside your body, every cell is being bringing back to life and sparkling inside of you. And we deeply breathe out everything that we don't need and we don't want for tonight. Let it go. Deeply breathe in that joy, a deep, profound joy that is within all of us, all the way up into our hearts. And we hold it for 2 or 3 seconds. And we let go. We let go now everything that we don't need and we don't want. And tonight. And now I invite you to feel that connection of the divine central sun, the divine source we all coming from, the divine intelligence, and feel that light all the way coming through all our chakras, from the crown chakra down to the root chakra, and feeling that ray of light going all the way down now to the center of Mother Earth. And feel how this ray of light is always with you and is always nourishing you. And it's really everything that you need is in that ray of light. It's feeding us. It's connecting all of us to each other. Every cell is connected through that light. And now let us feel how this ray of light comes all the way back from the center point of Mother Gaia, all the way back up through our feet and root chakra, sacred chakra, solar plexus, into our heart. I invite you now to feel like a water fountain, how this light is cleansing, purifying our beautiful hearts even more, even more, even more. And that purified heart, feel how this purified heart is now expanding. And expanding how the love inside of you now, with this beautiful purified heart, is expanding and expanding. And feel how that love also goes all the way up through the crown chakra, and feel the toroidal field that you're emanating, that you are always. The more you give, the more comes back to you. The more you give, the more it comes back to you. Feel that love that you're emanating, and that comes back. And the beautiful divine love and presence of the divine. I invite you now to feel how love really, because you are so blessed and so infinitely loved. The divine loves us. And in this beautiful moment of now, and it is always a precious moment of now, I invite you to feel the truth in this moment, the love, the divine, and welcome you home. Welcome home, beloved children of love, beloved children of the divine. Mother, Father, God are always with you, and all the beautiful masters, whoever master is guiding you, all the angels, all are always protecting and guiding you. If you feel like listening and being guided in this beautiful present moment, welcome home.
Thank you so much, beloved Deborah. Thank you. And a reminder to our audience that every night at 6:30 p.m., you can tune in and join us for meditation. And I'll put again into the chat box where you can find the information on that. It's often led by Deborah and also other members of the kind of twin ray community. And the meditations range in time. On Saturday night's a little shorter because we have a full show. But join us every night at 6:30 Pacific time, Here's the Zoom room link, and I'll, of course, also put that in the chat box. And thank you so much, Deborah, for organizing these events and also organizing the KES group healing, which we'll have in about a little less than 2 hours with your soul sister Uda coming to us from Germany. Thank you.
Scott, is that the same link as the regular link, or is that a different link?
It's a different link, and I'll put that link into the. It's the same link every night, 7 nights a week for the meditation, and I'll put that into the chat box in a moment. Absolutely. I'm gonna go back to Joni to kind of and Becky so they can complete, and then we're going to go to Casey Chai. Thank you for letting us come in with a beautiful meditation. And I know Becky I'm letting her know that she can go in just a moment because she's exhausted. And it's East Coast and
joyfully exhausted, and
children and husbands and dogs and cats all waiting for her.
It's just been such an astonishing weeknight, and today's the 99th day, people. We realize that, right? We did it to the 99th day. It's so incredible. So many of us have been carrying missions outside of the 99 days, but particularly over the 99 days and collaborating, and it's been such a joy. And so I want to show you all how to navigate for right now, and then there'll be another way to navigate in the future once the site gets updated with all of the historic records. But Joni, I wonder if you want to share anything before I do all of that. Is there anything?
To do that, and then I'll come back in.
All right. So I'm going to share my screen, and I'm going to show you the Peace Week site. So we were using this to navigate, and hang on, let me fix this real quick. Each convergence that we have a website with a dedicated landing page for the schedule, and we list all of the events, and we have a list of the rooms. And then we have the global broadcast, and the global broadcast is exclusive to the Unity Earth Room 1 Convergence Room. And when you click on that, this is where all of the broadcasts were airing. It jumps you over to unity.earth/TV. And it has right now, it has the schedule that happened today. And what will eventually happen is there will be this archive here. It's not letting me mouse over it. You'll click on that in the days to come, and there will be an archive of all of the events that happened in the Room 1. You can look at June, you can look back at the World Unity Week. Those are already all there. It's a really fantastic organization system. It's got all of the videos. So and it's got from last year too. And apparently the year before that too. Wow, I didn't realize it goes all the way back. So it's a really wonderful archive, and we'll have that on peaceweek.org. For right now, what you can do is you can go to, hang on, we can go to Peace Week. I'm looking for my Facebook page. There it is. Okay, you can go to facebook.com/, hang on, you can see that some of our things have flooded over onto Walking the Red Road. Go to Peace Weekend. And when you land on this page, I think you're seeing us right here. This is us. We've got the sine wave going. So here's our broadcast right now. I feel like we're doing a mirror within a mirror here. And you'll see, as you scroll down, you'll see other pieces, other programs that came out on Peace Week this week, including the Room Steward Harvest, which I can't wait to jump in. I was on it for a couple of minutes, and then my plane took off. So I didn't get to listen to the reflections from the Room Steward Harvest, but that's where we gather everybody together and they reflect on what happened in the room. We have room stewards, and we've invited some room stewards to come and join us here tonight. So hopefully we'll hear from some other folks too. And then we have, hang on, there was something else I wanted to show you. So there's this beautiful World Peace concert that happened today, and you can watch that here with some really beautiful music. And hang on. And when you come down here, you'll see there was a program called Peace on Earth by 2030 with David Gershon and Miranda offered this program. And right before that, this was the event that I was at up in Mahwah, New Jersey. And we had this is what it looked like. We did a flag ceremony with Fumi John Stewart and Dot Maver and Nina Meyerhoff and who else was there? It was amazing. There were an amazing amount of interfaith people, and of course our indigenous relatives, the Ramapo, Munsee, Lenape people were there, and there were some people from Montreal as well. It was an incredible gathering, and you'll be able to watch the whole broadcast there. So scroll through and have a look at what you see. And Linda actually was one of the primary organizers of that. So we're super grateful. I know you've had Linda on the program too. She's amazing. So
we had Linda on Wednesday night. On Wednesday night, we had an edition of Authors That We Love. And so Linda was with her brand new book, Mind Skills.
Yes.
And then, of course, we had her on the show last week. So yeah, Linda's beautiful. She's
amazing. Wow. It was, yeah. So it's, that's one of the places that you can go, and you can go way back, throughout the whole week, and you'll see many different programs, including your program, Scott, too. So those get streamed out there too. So that's for right now.
I was wanting to make sure our audience knew how to go back and get it. So
yes. And then, in the weeks to come, there'll be people who recorded who didn't go live, and they'll be putting things out too, so just stay coming to, we have our weekly calls with Unity Earth, and there's, a lot of people announce where things are broadcasting and when they are on those calls as well. So it's incredible. It's such a beautiful, beloved community that we're part of.
Congratulations. It's been a great week. You are released.
I go fly. I'm going to go straight to sleep, I think. With a big joy, a smile on my face.
Tomorrow, because you're a reverend, right?
Actually, I'm with the kids tomorrow. I'm not sermonizing tomorrow. I think it's harder, though, to be with the kids than it is to do a sermon.
Probably.
Tougher audience. Well, so much love and blessings to everyone. Thank you so much for all you do, Scott. Absolutely. Beautiful week. Congratulations.
I'll see you on Wednesday.
Okay.
Joni, I do need to get to Casey shortly, but what would you like to complete with? What do you want for our audience to know?
I'd like people to know that my book is mostly about mojo. And mojo is that spark of spirit, that energy, that something that animates us that's so mysterious, and yet it's the spark of life, the spark of all creativity. And really, one takeaway is just keep asking, how's my mojo? And how's everybody else's mojo? And, I really break that down and break down all the metaphysics and bring in lots of research. There's tons of references in the book and a whole glossary. I think the book is worth it just for the glossary. I think it's probably a really interesting glossary. But really, mojo matters. And I will leave it at that.
Beautiful. Joni, thank you so much. Thank you for your incredible bright light, all the great love. You're one of those people, you do everything with love, and I really appreciate that about you. Thank you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. I get to bring up Casey Chai, and Casey is definitely a favorite of the Global Peace Tribe. Those of you that are regulars, you've seen her dance several times. And we're also part of the Artists Catalyzing Evolution group. And we did our own Peace Week program. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. And it was beautiful. It was really lovely. And so, Casey, what does tonight's theme mean to you? How do we act locally? How do we act globally? How do you imagine continuing the process of bringing peace into our world?
Thank you so much, Scott, for inviting me to be part of this magical program. And it's so wonderful to see Jody again, as well as David. I got the wonderful chance to meet Joni and Scott for the first time in real life in March this year.
That's right.
And yeah. And it's so inspiring to find out about how the Peace on Earth movement has really grown to touch millions of people. I was part of the Peace Pilot. This was led by David Gershon and Gail Straub in 2020. It was a 4-month program. And through that, I had the chance to go into underprivileged high schools in Harlem and Queens, and this is in New York City. So I have a couple of photos that I'd like to share from that experience. So I was leading something called Befriending the Other workshop, and this was discussing what it means to other and how people end up getting grouped into us or them and how to shift past this paradigm. And these are some of the kids that we worked with in Harlem. Most of us have been educated from birth to compete and judge and communicate in terms of right and wrong, should or should not, good and evil. And when most of us are in pain, we resort to judgment and blame. We believe that if we make the other party feel bad enough, they will change their behavior. However, if change takes place, provided you have not driven them out of your life, generally it occurs out of submission, guilt, or shame, and the spirit of cooperation has been lost. So everything we do in life is to meet our needs, such as security, love, connection, significance, personal growth, contribution, etc. And I went into these schools and I taught these kids some of these concepts. This is me at Leonardo da Vinci High School, which is mostly Latin population. And I also shared tools for active listening and how to turn around limiting beliefs. And it was such an incredible experience to meet with these wonderful people and connect with the next generation. And now I want to share Kristen Hoffman. This is a photo of us from 2015 on International Day of Peace. We had a concert in Central Park, and Deepak Chopra led a meditation that morning, and there was a Jerusalem choir as well as the Harlem choir that had members of both Israeli and Palestinian descent singing the song Imagine by John Lennon. So that was really powerful. And this is us in 2018 in Times Square. We had a big concert for several hundred thousands. Well, I don't know how many people. There were a lot of people, and it was broadcast. So without further ado, I want to move to Kristen's song that I'm going to dance to, and this is a brand new song. It's called "Welcome to the Golden Age," and it's the Peace on Earth anthem, and it was released on International Day of Peace, which is 2 days ago. So it's my pleasure to dance once again to my wonderful friend's song that just moves me to pieces, and she just has the ability to reach deep into your heart and just pull out anything that is you're holding on to that you need to leave, grieve, and just let go of. And so with that, let's play her song. Let me make sure I'm sharing.
And for one moment, pause it for a second. Just before we went on air, I got a long text message from Kristen. And she was bubbling with joy because they gave her a big award. I need to, I'm going to screen share for a moment and show this. This is the award that was given to Kristen an hour before our broadcast. She was given the Unity Earth Keeper of the Flame Award. And it says to Kristen Hoffman, awarded for your sublime songwriting, your angelic voice, your divine gift of music that weaves threads of healing and unity, uplifting and inspiring countless souls towards spiritual consciousness and peace on earth. So she just got that award. She didn't know they were going to give it to her tonight. So she's with us in spirit. She and Troy are off celebrating. She sends her love to you, Casey, and she's really honored that you're going to dance to her song. So now you have screen sharing privilege back again.
Great, thank you. That's amazing. She deserves it.
Isn't that cool?
All right, here goes.
AC, we're not hearing the music. Oh. Here we go.
Start again.
Welcome
Thank
to
you.
the golden age. High frequency, our DNA. Anchored in our will to shine. With peace on earth, our guiding light. Our initiation has begun. So close your eyes, heartbeat as one. We are one. Transformation is now. Feel the sun, golden light shining down. When we dream as one, we hold the key to evolve. See as one, unconditional love. Welcome to the golden age, where presence is the only place, an opportunity to thrive in harmony with all of life. Any obstacle is overcome, hand in hand, heartbeat as one. We are one. Transformation is now. Feel the sun, golden light shining down. Oh, when we dream as one, we hold the key to evolve. See as one, unconditional love. Faith and oneness, unity, abundance, love. Oh, love. Empowerment is raising and cooperation. Oh, faith and oneness, unity, abundance, love. Oh, love. Empowerment is raising and cooperation. Oh, we are one. Transformation is now. Feel the sun, raise the sun, golden light shining down. Golden light shining. When we dream as one, when we dream as one, we hold the key to evolve. We hold that key. See as one. When we see as one, unconditional love. Unconditional love. Welcome to the golden age, where peace on earth in one decade is held in every heart and mind, and lifted through the codes of time. Acceleration has begun. Now's our moment, live as one. Feel the rhythm of Gaia's drum.
Oh, Casey, it's always so beautiful. I'm going to read you some of the comments that have just come in. Don Drake writes, an amazing transmission of graceful movement. Ayada Ayala is in tears. Pam also writes, so beautiful, I'm in tears. Kathy writes, that was beautiful dancing to such angelic music. Thank you. Hey, who's that good-looking guy passing by?
That's my husband, Brad. He's wondering who's passing by.
Hey, welcome. Good to see you. Donna writes, fantastic, gorgeous dancing. Grace Denise writes, really beautiful. Eleanor Joy writes, flexible, flowing, and fantastic. Jeffrey and Sonia write, the universes are flowing. This is the proof. And Margie says, I loved the golden wings. So, and more coming in. Casey, through your, you know, I know you travel all over the world, you know, because we're friends. Sometimes you're in Russia, sometimes you're in Europe, sometimes you're in New York. And so it's beautiful that you take the time to dance for us. It's really a blessing to have someone of your class and your talent with us on the evenings that you join us. Thank you so much. And thank you for the
Scott.
Thank you for the work you're doing with teenagers. It's so important, such important work. Thank you. We're going to go to David Gershon in a moment, but we're going to go to our beloved brother Omashar because it's the awakening world. If it's the awakening world, Sylvia is giving a thumbs up. People are excited. We got to have Omashar music. Hey, brother.
Hey there, and Keishi, that was so profoundly beautiful, and I was there watching Kristen receive that award, and that was just such an amazing thing for her, because to take her, you know, nobody expects the unexpected, and there it was, and that was phenomenal. So, and thank you for just gracing us with you. And I had a lot of things to say about what you said before you danced, but they've all gone now, but they were just ringing true. Thank you so much. And this is probably my 7th brand new song that I've debuted on The Awakening World. And this one's called Hypnotized. And I'm just going to put in, this is the chorus. I'm just putting it in the chat. And you can sing along to that. And let's do it. Bit of background stuff here. Woohoo!
Wow.
Hypnotized, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's on. All the bells and whistles are good. And one more thing. Recognize we've been hypnotized. The spell is wearing off, and so now we rise with higher frequencies. There is no disguise. The truth of life itself is now realized. Love is reaching through of me and you. Our world is waking up to our different points of view, and now we realize that we've been hypnotized. The spell is wearing off, and so now we rise with higher frequencies. There is no disguise. The truth of life itself is now realized. So shake yourself free of the past. No longer do we walk in the dark. Let's show each other what we can do. Let the light shine right on through.
mother returns to us all, so that love can have a way. And now we recognize that we've been hypnotized. The spell is wearing off, and so now we rise with higher frequencies. There is no disguise. The truth of life itself is now realized. Love is reaching through the hearts of me and you. Our world is waking up to our different points of view. Shake yourself free of the past. No longer do we walk in the dark. Let's show each other what we can do, and let our love shine right on through. Now we recognize we've been hypnotized. The spell is wearing off, so now we all rise with higher frequencies. There is no disguise. The truth of life itself is now realized. Let the good of humanity stay. Let the dross simply fade away. And let the mother return to us all, so that love can have a way. And now we recognize that we've been hypnotized. The spell is wearing off, and so now we all rise with higher frequencies. There is no disguise. The truth of life itself is now realized. Love is reaching through the hearts of me and you. Our world is waking up to our different points of view. So shake yourself free of the past. No longer do we walk in the dark, and show each other what we can do, and let our love shine right on through. 'Cause now we recognize
That is a terrific new song. You know, it's always exciting when there's a new Omashar song, and that one is a great one.
because I haven't actually worked out the arrangement of it all, but I just knew I had to birth it today, so it'll morph over the next few weeks into something even more profound. Thank you.
Fabulous. That's all. I'm going to go to gallery view. Let's all twinkle Omashar for that wonderful new Omashar song,
Hypnotized.
which I look forward to hearing. We're getting a heart from Deborah Juliet. And thank you. Omashar will be back with one more song tonight. And now I get to turn it over to our keynote speaker for the evening. And really, David, thank you so much. I know you already did a big event earlier today for Peace Week. And thank you for being with us this evening. When I was kind of crafting tonight's show, I was really hoping you'd be available. And once again, Kristen Hoffman comes to mind. She's who introduced us, I think 2 or 3 years ago now. So David is an extraordinary fellow who is really making a big difference in the world and holding the vision, the powerful vision of peace by 2030. He is the founder and CEO of the Empowerment Institute, and he's been called the #1 expert on social change. He's dedicated his life to empowering humanity to believe that we can create the world of our dreams. And he's designing the strategies and tools to help us all make it a reality. David, I turn it over to you, and I look forward to hearing what you have to share.
Scott, thank you. Keishi, I don't know if, yes, you're still here. I so appreciated your dance. Thank you. And I appreciated the great work you did on our team, Peace on Earth. #1, we call it Poet One. You, me, and Kristen, my wife, and others. So happy you're still engaged in that way. Love it. So bless you, dear Keishi. Scott, thank you so much for inviting me. Thank you for all the beautiful work you've done. You've been another keeper of the flame for all these years, every single week. Amazing, putting together so much consciousness and so much light into the world and joy. So grateful to all you've done.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, David.
So this has been quite a week. We've done 7 events. We worked with Humanity Rising all week, doing events every day. We did a big event yesterday. We launched our work in Africa with the African Union, and they have bought into Peace on Earth by 2030 as a continent initiative, amazingly. 55 countries, all ready to go on a journey to create peace on Earth by the end of the decade and show the world what's possible. The cradle of civilization, the birthplace of our human species, is going to now take it to the next level. And part of what gets them inspired is because they are finding a need. There's so much conflict, and they're so ready and open-hearted. So that has happened. And then we also have launched this across Afghanistan. There are 4,000 young girls playing the Peace on Earth by 2030 game, and they can't go to school because they're forbidden by the Taliban, but they are playing the game. This is their lifeline. And they are also deeply inspired by all the people around the world playing this game and engaging in this journey, so they know there's a future beyond just Afghanistan. So this idea that's getting traction now has a long genesis. And I want to tell you the story of Peace on Earth by 2030, where it began, where it is now, a little taste of where it is now, and what's possible for us as a human species. So so this is going to go way back, my friends. Some of you weren't even around. Some of you have been around all this time. But in 1976, I had a vision. I had a vision that America had just come out of the Vietnam War, and we had lost a sense of who we were. And I was a marathon runner, an aspiring Olympian marathon runner, and I had the idea of passing a torch around America to rekindle the spiritual values around which our country was founded. We needed a boost. We needed to believe in ourselves again. And so I discovered myth and ritual before Joseph Campbell had come on the scene. And we passed this torch of peace around the country, 9,000 miles of running nonstop. And it became a phenomenon. It touched people. It raised people beyond ideology, beyond things that separated us. And as we were extinguishing the torch in downtown Manhattan at Federal Hall, where George Washington was inaugurated, the thought came into my mind, pass the torch around the world and ignite the spirit of cooperation. Your job on this planet, David, is to create peace on Earth. And I said, okay, I'll do this. That sounds like just perfect for me, an idealist, a believer in the possible, actually a believer in the impossible. So I set out to do that. 3 years later, I was unable to convince anybody this idea was going to go anywhere, running around the world with a torch to create peace on Earth. It was a little ahead of its time. And just as I was wondering what to do in terms of my dream, I got a phone call from the Olympic Committee from Lake Placid Olympics, and they said, David, we have been looking for someone to organize the Olympic torch relay. You seem to have cornered the market on torch relays. Would you be interested in organizing the Olympic torch relay? Which was not a hard sell for their part, because I was so excited and also so wondering how the heck I was going to pull this idea off. They also threw in Air Force One as part of the package. And they said, if you go, we'll give you Air Force One to get the flame in Olympia. Someone was talking about Delphi earlier. So I organized the Olympic torch relay. It was an extraordinary experience. We chose runners from all 50 states, including the Lake Placid and the District of Columbia. based on how well they embodied the ideal of the whole person, the Greek ideal of the whole person, not just by who could carry the torch. And they chose the final torchbearer to light the cauldron based on who represented the whole person. So we had begun to morph this whole Olympics into these higher ideals, not just the athletic experience. And I thought my torch bearing life was coming to an end. I met my wife in 1980, who, by the way, is the person who invented twinkles. So I'm happy to see that her legacy is alive and well. Twinkles have found their way into all sorts of fun places, and now I'm happy to see that it's here. She was a new games trainer, and they found a new way to find ways to acknowledge people. Casey was in our workshop, so you remember Twinkles from way back when. Yep, Twinkles. Hi, Twinkles. Hi, everybody. And I love Twinkles, by the way, so I'm happy to be recognized by Twinkles. So anyway, I digress. So it's now 1983, we're doing all this empowerment work, and it is a time when there's a movie that goes on called The Day After, where we have a near-death experience. We see the world coming to an end. There was this profound Cold War mentality, and no one knew how we were going to get out of it. And it seemed to me that it was time to bring the torch out again and see if we could actually create a shift in the energetic field, And so I went to Gail and I said, Gail, do you know anyone who lives in a foreign country? And she said, no. And well, that's how we started. And eventually we were able to get the United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF's partner, and 62 countries came to participate, 45 heads of state, most of the heads of state in the world of note at that time. 25 million people and 1 billion people watched this torch of peace go around the world. And wherever the torch of peace went, all wars stopped and the world was united as one. And I saw a possibility. I got a mandate as part of that. We were asked by the Hopi Nation to have someone represented at the United Nations. They were told that they had to deliver the Hopi prophecy at a time when there was great darkness in the world. And they concluded they were to deliver it at the Great Hall of Micah, which was the United Nations. That was where they were told to deliver it 1,000 years ago. And they would have 4 tries to deliver it. And if they were successful, it would begin 1,000 years of peace. If they were unsuccessful, we'd have 1,000 years of darkness. This was their selling pitch to me, not a hard sell. And we said, of course, come. And Grandmother Caroline came on the grounds of the United Nations as we got ready to start this adventure and deliver this beautiful message. And she said, this torch of peace is going to begin a great turning towards 1,000 years of peace. And you need to pay attention to the signs. The signs are going to look exactly different than what they appear, because underneath all the noise, there's going to be something else happening, subterranean level. Pay attention at that level. You're going to work at that level. So I got the mandate at that moment and became what we call a dream keeper of the dream, that humanity, and a faith keeper, that we can get to this dream that seems so far away and seems so unattainable. So I want to share with you the first Earth Run, and then I want to take you fast forward into the present time that came out of the first Earth Run. So this is a video that will take you on a deep journey. It tells a story of humanity's aspiration for peace on Earth. It takes you around the world. It will open your heart. So allow yourself to receive it in the heart. And then we'll have a few minutes afterwards to talk about what your experience was. So I invite you on this journey now. So I'm not able to share screen while the other participant is sharing. Is there someone else sharing right now?
Casey did turn hers off, and so I'm going to Casey, can you turn off your screen sharing? Okay, try it now, David.
That does it. Sorry, Casey. Happy to see you though. Okay, so let us go on this ride. This is 1986 vintage, by the way, as you'll probably tell quickly. A little introduction, and then the video starts. This was a video created by UNICEF.
Oh, we're back to you, David.
One second, my friends.
While you're working on that, getting it together, a couple comments from our audience. One of the audience members thought that you were saying that your wife invented Twinkies. So to be careful, it was twinkles like this, not Twinkies. But I think that's kind of clever and cute. And yes, somebody asked, did David say that 4,000 girls in Afghanistan are playing the Peace by 2030 game? And the answer is yes. 4,000 girls are playing this. And the Peace by 2030 game is this beautiful game that David is teaching all over the world to people. I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about it while he's still working on.
Yes, unfortunately, I didn't get the right sound, so it was going to be a difficult thing to hear. So I'm sorry I stopped in the middle. I think you'll get a better sound now.
Okay, give it a go, David.
My people lived in the mountains since the beginning of time, but soldiers killed my family. I'm all alone, and I don't know where I am.
time that we say we want a different world for our children. This torch, I believe, will carry that message from community to community, from capital to capital, from country to country, from people to people. Our children need peace.
This is Jim Grant, the head of UNICEF. This is the launch, September 16, 1986. 20,000 people have gathered. A strong message is read out by Reagan. The Secretary General of the United Nations receives the flame and passes it to other leaders, and 2 Special Olympians launch the flame on its journey around the world. Tens of thousands of Czechs join in. 100,000 Soviets, and a strong message read out by Gorbachev. In a moment, a 15-year-old boy will hand a torch of peace to a great man of peace as we intersected with the tour of the Pope. And as the Pope receives the flame, 60,000 children light candles, and the whole stadium is electrified. Linford Christie, the beloved Olympian, running with 5,000 youth into Birmingham Square, a poignant moment for a great Olympic athlete. We were invited by the President of Iceland to light a cauldron outside of where Gorbachev and Reagan were holding a summit meeting. An Arab and Jewish child bringing the flame together into the Knesset. The President of Kenya launching the flame through the Kenyan countryside. President of the Ivory Coast on his 81st birthday as he received the flame. 70,000 people have gathered to honor the flame's arrival in Abidjan. The President of Nigeria literally running with the flame. Uganda, the President receives it, and then it goes to different parts of the country that were still suffering under the former rule of Idi Amin to serve as a healing. Bahrain, Special Olympians carrying the flame. The Maasai warriors came running out of the savannah to add their extraordinary presence and knowing to the fire. The President of India, 10 cities. The Taj Mahal in the background. The King of Nepal receives it in the palace in Kathmandu, and from there it went to Lumbini, the birthplace of the Buddha, to light an eternal flame. This man carries the flame up Mount Everest as part of an Everest expedition. Here he's received by the governor of Tibet. It was also passed with an underwater torch by Cousteau in the South Pacific. The President of China receives the flame, and then 2 million people run onto the Great Wall of China, honoring the flame's arrival. In Bangkok, we were received by Buddhist monks in prayer and meditation who said, "A peaceful world begins with a peaceful mind." She read that out to the Secretary General of the United Nations, who was literally moved to day 84 back in the United States, a well-worn torch. We're in Washington. The runners in blue from the United Nations come and join the runners in red who've been around the world. In a moment, we'll merge the flame with Kennedy's eternal flame, transforming it from death to hope. We did the same with Gandhi's memorial, the unknown soldier in Moscow, and many of the other eternal flames burning on the planet. And we enter Philadelphia, and there we experience some of the children who, like children everywhere, experience the flames' magic. And we cross the George Washington Bridge into New York, and we're told that the United Nations has called a special session of the General Assembly that delegates from around the world have come to honor the flame's arrival. December 11th, a snowy evening. Our final torchbearer, a young boy, carries the flame into the General Assembly Hall, and we were told that a special sense of joy and hope descended that hadn't been there before. People from all over have gathered to honor the flame as it re-enters the United Nations. A poignant moment for Gail and myself, the completion of a 10-year dream. In a moment, this young boy will bring the flame out onto the grounds of the United Nations and light a cauldron that represents the hope and the aspiration and the will of the millions of people on our planet who said, yes, we can create the world we want. We will create the world we want. It will be.
Wow. Wow. We're going to hear more, but let's give some twinkles. Not twinkles, but let's give some twinkles today for what he created 37 years ago. It's amazing. Amazing. Wow.
Well, I take credit on behalf of lots of people, but I'm happy to receive the twinkles. What I will say is that this is a space, having shown this many times, Keishi has seen it once when she was in our empowerment workshop at Omega, that takes people into a deep place of the possible.
Yeah.
I want to invite people. We don't get to go to that place very often. And I want to invite people to share in their chat, or if they want to ask a question, or just not even ask a question, but just offer their reflection. I'd be happy to receive it and spend a moment while we're in this expanded sense of the possible, or whatever feelings you may have. So if anyone feels inspired to share any comments, I'm open to receiving them. If not,
I would like to offer this Thanksgiving to all of us. It's an origami hybrid bird, half a peace crane and half a flapping bird, because peace is about movement. As you so beautifully offered us in that film, the movement collectively.
Thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you.
Again, other feelings that came from this experience. I want to hear what happened in your hearts as you allowed this.
I'll read some of the comments coming in. Susan B. writes, memories come up for me. I remember this movement. Dia writes, reflection, life-changing for me. I had no idea that this film was made. Grace Denise writes, this brought me from tears to hope. Kathy writes, it's so moving, I cannot stop crying. Zoom user wrote, yes, we can, and we will, we are. Carol Craig writes, maximum grace. Keishi writes, David, you made the impossible possible. Other comments, wow, so moving. Is there a link to this? So Ayada writes, I shed a lot of tears while watching this. My heart was just overflowing. I needed this right now. It has lifted my spirit from a very difficult week. And if anybody else wants to comment on camera, raise your hand. You know, there's a little raise hand feature, and I'll see if any of our kind of regulars want to share anything. Omashar, is there anything? I'm going to put the spotlight on you for a moment. Brother, what comes up for you?
And I just wrote it in the chat. I'm brought to tears, David. I was just devastated watching the beginning of the video. I know we've seen it in newsfeed forever, just watching the destroyed families, and that we can do this to ourselves. Holy smoke. And of course, the rest of the video just brought up the hope in me. But again, it just reminded me of how important it is that we just continue this movement of peace, no matter what it takes. Let's just make it happen between all of us, musicians and artists and speakers and everything. And it's what I live for, and I know it's what you have lived for. So what you do live for. So thank you, brother.
You're very welcome, my friend. Thank you so much for those words.
Donna just wrote, it was beautiful. I wish the politicians around the world would have paid more attention. Fortunately, the people will shine the brightest lights and bring peace to our planet. Margie writes, can more people view this to get inspired at how many people all over the world are ready for peace and have been for decades? Carol Craig writes, allowed me to relive many moments from my past as I've been to many of these countries. The beginning was heart-wrenching, but the ending so very hopeful. Pam writes, I'm without words right now. That was beautiful, heart-opening, and inspiring. Susan Woolridge writes, remember, so moved, and now it's gaining more momentum. Our time is now.
Thank you, my friends, for opening your heart, for receiving it so beautifully. So this wasn't the...
Oh, I've got one more person, which is Dana Lee. I had her hand up, so I want to give her a moment.
Yes, of course.
Thank you, and blessings, blessings. Thank you for sharing that, David. I just wanted to echo what everyone has already said. And I was really left with a couple of impressions. One, just a sincere, deep appreciation for those people and events that have gone before us. You know, how there's these events that happen that sort of lay the groundwork for a later version of that. So I was left with this like, okay, so what's the 21st century version of that? And I know that you have it, but I just was really, you know, we use that term when we say we stand on the shoulders of giants. So all those people who participated, all of them that showed up, that ran, that, right, that they laid something for us now as a humanity to step up into what does peace look like now in 2023. So just really appreciating the arc of time and those who lay that path so that we may continue with it today.
Thank you for that. Very true. In fact, one of those people, my colleague Miranda Glendenning, some of you may know, was 6 years old when she saw this. She always tells her story. She saw it on Good Morning America, which one of our partners, and it inspired her to believe in peace. And she started working her whole life, and then eventually we reconnected. So it's wonderful to see the full circle of that. We have time maybe for one more, because I want to move forward and say where we are now, but let's just take one more moment if there's someone else who wants to share.
Sure, here's Deborah Juliet. Oh, you got to unmute. There you go.
Thank you so much, David. This was, I cannot put in words how much it touched me, really, to see, I mean, to see those children. Yeah. So I just want to say thank you, and I can't wait to hear from you what you're making out of it now, because this movement lives in our heart and our mind all the time. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bless you for saying that, and for keeping the torch burning in your heart. Scott, what do you think? Should I move forward, or we want to take a couple
One
more?
last person. I want to give Christy Michaels a chance. Well, she went away. So
Yeah, no, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, I went to Ayada, but go ahead, Christy.
David, I'm so struck by your presence on camera. It looks like for you, despair is not an option. And I imagine, you know, holding this torch and carrying a vision and trying to do as much as you can. I mean, I was a child of the 60s, you know, the hippie flower children, make love, not war. And I am so in shock in my retirement that there is war going on still. And so how do you stay above the line of despair? How do you just make that not an option? Because I see a solid, sovereign presence of goodness in you. And that is what is very inspiring, because you seem so firm and sovereign in that. And any wisdom that you've learned from all these years of trying to implement peace on earth, and peace be with you, my brother.
Thank you. Well, if your whole life is dedicated to creating the new and building the new, I don't spend a lot of time looking at the deconstruction phase of humanity, because I know we are constructing the new. So I wake up every day creating peace on earth, or healing or transforming our climate issues or other issues that we work on in our Empowerment Institute. When one focuses on the positive, then one is always filled with the sense of peace. I've also learned in my life that there's a very fundamental sort of tenet in our empowerment worldview, which is the shift from pathology, which is the focus on what's wrong and how to fix it, to the focus on the possible and how to create it. One is defined by the problem and the other by the imagination. And so I spend most of my time in the space of the imagination. And I'll share one more thing. It's a kind of a deeper level. Should we call it a theory of change that we work from, that I think may give you a bit bigger context for the how. Move out of the heart for one moment. We'll come back in a moment, but let me just take us into the intellect at least a little bit. So our world right now is a function of many social systems: healthcare, education, financial, and so on. Our political system in Washington is a poster child of dysfunction right now, but that's how we're organized. When those systems become unable to function, they become unstable, and they start to perturbate or oscillate and break down or become marginally functional. When they break down, they become unmoored from that which keeps them in place. But they also then can evolve to a higher level of possibility and social value. We call that second order change. Second order change is the work that I do. And I want to compare it to first order change, which is the current state of play for how to change things, and where people get very depressed and deflated very easily because our problems require transformation and the current tools are incremental, so they can't produce the results. And those are passing laws, if we can at all, financial incentives or disincentives, self-awareness or awareness campaigns, and protest. And those are not up to the challenge of climate. They're not up to the challenge of peace. But if you can't get people to change through first order change, what's left is empowering people to want to change. And what does that is a compelling vision of the possible and the means to achieve it. The first Earth Run was a compelling vision of the possible and the means to achieve it. What has come out of First Earth Run, which I'll speak to in one moment, is based on that model as well. And when you understand that framework, the world looks very different. What looks like insoluble problems are insoluble from the point of view of first order change solutions, but not second order change solutions. I wrote a book called Social Change 2.0 on how to do that. So that's part of it. And I think the other part of my being state is that I live in this place. This is not something that I need to go towards. I just practice it. I live in it every day. There are practices that I'll share that I think will be helpful to people that are engaged, that are embedded in the game. Casey shared a little bit of those that befriend the other. And when you operate from some of those practices, that also fills you. So a little bit of a longer answer to a simple question. So do we want to have one more person speak, and then I'll move on to the game?
Yeah, and we're already about a half an hour over time, but this is also so important. So we're going to hear from Ayada, and then love to hear, David, what can we do now? How do we play the Peace by 2030 game? But Ayada had her up. Hi, Ayada, and I need you to unmute.
All right, thank you so much. David, this was one of the most powerful and moving things I have ever seen, truly. And it was all I could do to not break down sobbing during part of it, because, as Omashar and others said, it was so painful to watch that first part, but also so heart-opening. And I just felt this surge of, okay, we have to really rise up now together. We have to put everything we've got into this now, because the situation in the Ukraine and, all over Africa, I mean, we have to do this now. We have to give it everything we've got. And so I would love to see another, and I don't know if it's possible or if this is in even a consideration, but boy, to have something like that happen right now, to be organized, I think would be met with just a tremendous outpouring of support and enthusiasm and love, because, I mean, our hearts are just aching and hurting so deeply from the condition of the world. And so we'll see where it goes, but thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you for the incredible work you've been doing. And thank you for that peace run. Oh my God, so powerful. Yeah.
You're welcome. And thank you for those kind words. So let me answer Scott's question. One of the things that I love right now is that when I share the first Earth Run video, the question that people ask is, well, can we do another one? What can we do? How do we continue with that energy? And so what happened from the first Earth Run were many things. One was that I came to believe that anything was possible, that really it was just a function of the belief in the possible to enable it. And the other was that I started to distill the learnings. I saw this almost like a pilot, believe it or not. At the time, it seemed like it was everything, but it really wasn't everything. It was a piece of a journey that I've been on. And when I distilled the learnings, what I saw were there were 7 strategies. There were 7 things that enabled that to be successful. It didn't just happen it did happen with some magic. I could speak to the magic maybe, and maybe later if there's time, but it also happened because there was something that was very strategic. I didn't know it at the time. I was just following my intuition, but when I distilled it, there were these 7 strategies, which we then distilled further into the 7 actions of the game. Game's 7 actions did not come out of my head. They came out of this experience, empirically discovered. When we distilled it even further, they came into these 7 frequencies that represent the spiritual essence. And so we then built this into what we call the Peace on Earth by 2030 game. And we began to test this idea to see if we could actually get these practices, these unitive practices embodied. And I went to my good friend who won this prize today, Kristen. I said, Kristen, would you like to be the leader of the first Peace on Earth team? Poet 1, Peace on Earth team. And she said, of course. And then she got Keishi. And so this is a very full circle today with Kristen and Keishi. And we discovered that this actually had a lot of traction, that people were changing their behaviors and learning these practices, befriending the other, celebrating our common humanity. I did a show today as part of Peace Week where we had an exemplar of each of the 7 actions. So I'd encourage anyone who's really wanting to go deeper to watch that, because they really told the depth and breadth of the actions, which I don't have the time to get into right now. So we learned that this thing could work, and then we kept perfecting it and perfecting and perfecting it. We now have some almost 5,000 people who've played it. Almost 40,000 actions have been taken that influence close to 9 million people. And this is just the pilot. We are now getting ready to scale it. As I said on Friday, we got an extraordinary breakthrough. We got the African Union to want to embody this and say, we want to take Africa first and show what's possible. So we are getting traction. As Scott was alluding to earlier, we have 4,000 young girls playing the game across Afghanistan in 9 provinces. Again, some of that was shared today. And many, many, many more things. When you play the game, the next step is to create peace on earth zones in your community. We have 7 of those going on, and we hope to have thousands of them. So there is a path forward, a very profound, very viable path forward. And the last thing I want to say metaphysically, to speak to Joni's metaphysics comment earlier, the metaphysics of this, there's twofold. The first thing was that during the Earth Run, we discovered something quite profound. There was so much contraction. There was a forcing function for expansion. That is the nature of the universe. And we got pulled into that vortex. And it's happening again. The contraction is a forcing function for expansion. So the more pain, the more people see the contraction, the more they want expansion. Some of you spoke to that already. And so it's gaining traction rather quickly, because people are ready. And unlike the Earth Run, which was symbolic, this is very grounded in practices and support systems. People play the game in teams. They play the game in communities. They grow this across their communities and transform their communities. Amazing things are happening. So what can you do? Well, for starters, you can play the game. You can bring it to your community. October 11th, and maybe we could put in the chat, or I can put in the chat, there's a link to get to our information meeting. It is peace2030.earth/events. And that's where you can get registered for our information meeting. There'll be 2 on that day for different time zones. The next game starts, global game, January 17th through March 13th. And there'll be lots and lots of people getting ready to play that version of the game. We have 47 partners, including UNESCO and the Rotary Club and Unity Earth and Unify and a lot of the likely suspects, Pathways to Peace, and they're all promoting this to their memberships, and they're working closely together. This term radical collaboration is alive and well as they play this with us and engage their members. So it's doable. It isn't just a dream. And the last point I want to make about the metaphysics is this. One of the things we're doing is a friend of ours described it as collapsing the wave function. That is to say, changing the whole trajectory of time. So when you start to put a date into the future, you start to create that reality. It isn't no longer just a date in the future. We are starting to bring that reality to us. And when you bring that reality to you, then you start discovering, oh, yeah, why can't we in Africa do that? Oh, why can't we do it sooner? All of a sudden we came to normalize 2030, whereas before it was just, what? So once you start to set that intention in motion, the universe starts to do its thing. And it's an amazing thing that our intelligent universe does. So let me just close then by saying, we are absolutely able to achieve this. What is required is for people to get out of the comfort zones that we've gotten used to and say, yes, I want to create a better life. I want to create peace on earth. I want to bring this to my community. I want to bring this to my country. And we're seeing that. So we hope that the Peace Tribe will be part of these early adopters. I mean, this is your thing, Peace Tribe. We've come to support you in being able to live your truth. So I wish to see many of you in the future. Do come October 11th. Come play with us in January. Come help us create peace on earth by 2030.
David, let's definitely do another show that's just you prepping everybody for January. I have been scribbling down the websites, and I've got several for you, actually, the Empowerment Institute, but it looks like this is the right one.
That's the events page, and if you scroll down, Scott, a little bit, you'll see the October 30th time, I think. Yeah, excuse me, October 11th. Yeah.
October 11th is the
information. By the way, on October 30th, if you scroll down, one of your friends will also be co-creating a event with me.
Oh, Viviane, we love her. She's been on the show several times, and she's wonderful.
I know. So Viviane and her friends, the Octurans, are big fans of the game. So
We've,
we'll
we've had her on several times, and one time it was just her and her husband, and it was like, okay, remember Bewitched and I Dream of Jeannie? What's it like being a normal guy Arcturian, right? And it was really fun. They talked about it publicly for the first time. So
I know that they were on your show, but in any event, there'll be another special version, let's say the galactic version of Peace on Earth.
absolutely.
We were just having a great conversation with Jim Garrison. You may know what's going on with his work. Are you familiar with?
Yeah, that Jim's now working with our favorite attorney who's been involved in absolutely everything.
I forget his name, but he's going to be working on this whole full disclosure over the next.
Yeah, the full disclosure. I'm having a senior moment.
Daniel Sheehan.
Thank you, Daniel Sheehan, who's been on the show many times as well. So Danny Sheehan and Jim Garrison working together. That's a dynamic duo.
So Jim and I have been in this conversation. I've been on Humanity Rising every day this week doing one of these events, and he's been teeing up how the downloads that he's getting is that they're saying peace on earth is now what is asked of us. And so he's very actively driving this through his world and his networks, because it's the time.
It's the time. Absolutely.
Peace on earth now must happen, and we must make it happen. And so from many different angles, above and below, it's time.
David, thank you so much for being exactly what we wanted today. So beautiful. And everybody, please do go. Again, for those of you who are watching, you want to go to peace2030.earth/events. peace2030.earth/events. And that's where you can get all the information about
And Scott, if I may, spend time on the website, peace2030.earth. There's a great video. I would have showed it if we had more time on the homepage, and lots of other information. So you can learn more there as well. And the events page, you'll learn how to actually play the game.
Let's schedule a time where it's just you, me, and Kristen, because you've got so much to share. So
you betcha. My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me tonight. Thank you, everyone. It's a little late where I am in New York, so I might call it a night.
Absolutely.
But I bless you all, and thank you for all that you do. And can I get some twinkles?
Let's go one more time. Twinkles, not
twinkles.
Twinkles.
Twinkles. Yes. I mean, I would settle for less than twinkles, but since I know that you're a twinkle crowd, I'll tell my wife. She'll be very happy to know.
Absolutely. Thank you, David. Much love.
No.
And I'm going to go right to Maria Stark. Thank you, Maria, for your patience. And wow, wasn't that powerful?
Yeah, it's such a, ooh, got the echo on there. Yeah, such a beautiful vision, David. Thank you for everything you shared, and inspired by what David brought forward. I'd love to share this song called Keep the Light On, just feeling in the muse of the Olympian run and keeping that torch going. And so this is a song inspiring for us to keep the light on in our hearts, to be the ones who are way showers, to find each other in the dark night. And this song, Keep the Light On, just came out on my album, Weightless, which just got released a few weeks ago, which I'll pop in the chat, with a beautiful music video done by one of my best friends. And I'm just really excited for this album and for this song on it, and for the Peace on Earth vision. Here we go. I will keep the light on, so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. You know I will keep the light on, so you know that I was home.
If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. Ooh, ah, la, la, ooh, yeah. 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 Hear the humming of the trees around you. Breathe in peace into the air. It's a new moon, the darkness blooming makes the stars that much more clear. And the sky is scrying out your dreams now, tumbling down in puzzle light. I'll try any sort of creature for you on which to take your flight. And I will keep the light on so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song about them fireflies they're spying on you. I heard them whispering your name, telling stories of your heroism and all the magic that you bring. And now they're forming you a path to follow, light and shadows one by one, bringing you back closer to me, baby, so I can hold you in my arms. And I will keep the light on so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. You know I will keep the light on so you know that I was home. If you hear my voice upon the wind, know I'm singing you a song. Ooh, ah, la, la, ooh, yeah. 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 Ooh, ah, la, la, ooh, yeah.
It was beautiful. So beautiful.
Thank you, Scott.
Carol just wrote, this reminds me of my dear husband who passed away last year. So beloved Maria mentioned her new album. First of all, possibly the greatest album cover I've seen in a long time.
Thank you.
I love that. And it's, of course, called Weightless. And so if you go to her name, maria-stark.com, that's where you can learn all about Maria. And then I went straight to the album, Weightless. You can listen and download it right there. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to download it. I'm going to listen to it tonight. You can get it all sorts of ways. Bandcamp, I believe, is the best, right? You get the most.
Bandcamp is a great way to download direct from the musician. And, you know, also any of these are great. Add them to your Spotify playlists. If you're a Spotify person, it's a great way to do it. But yes, Bandcamp is the best direct way to download for me. And you can come check out the music videos for Keep the Light On. We released a music video yesterday for How Did the Song, another track on that record. So I'd love for you to come and enjoy that record and have it be part of nourishing your heart during the end of Peace Week and helping integrate all the magic that's been happening.
Just a few comments I got to read. Maria, that was exquisite, so peaceful and deep. Someone up, Deborah writes, such a beautiful song, wonderful Maria. Such sweetness and beauty, like a lullaby. It is true, it's like a lullaby. But we're not ready to go to sleep yet, everybody. We still have some wonderful things happening. So, Maria,
Thank you, Scott. Thanks everyone for having me. Sending you all so much love.
Give my love to Fajun. Take care. All right, I'm going to go to Keishi Chai next, and Keishi is going to get us up stretching and moving and get our energy going again. So take it away, Keishi. And you're muted, love.
Hello, hello. I think it's time to shake it out a little bit. David earlier was talking about how we're in a period of contraction and that in the future we will have expansion. And as a dancer, as someone who teaches movement all the time and have done so for over 30 years, I'm always thinking about how can we move our body with more ease, more relaxation, more freedom. And if we suffer from excess contraction, that's when the muscles and the joints, they start to close in. So with breath, we're going to invite in more freedom into our body, more peace. I invite you to stand tall with me. If you wish to stay seated, you can. I'm going to play Kristen's song. It's called Sundance. It's an older song from an album that she wrote maybe 15 years ago. It's from her Soul Om album. How's the volume, Scott? Is it all right?
Yep, it's good.
Okay, great. So I invite you to stand or stay seated. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. Inhale, head floats up like a balloon, and as you exhale, feet root down into the earth. Inhale up, opening the front body. Exhale. Inhale and exhale. Let's do this 4 more times, everyone. Up and down. Easy bend through your legs. Inhale up, visualizing space opening up between each vertebrae. Inhale and exhale, relaxing your shoulders. Inhale up and exhale down, keeping the hands down, standing tall, head is heavy, tilt to the right and up. Letting the left fingertips reach down and up. One more time to the right, eyes are soft, jaws soft. Left shoulder rolls down and slowly melts. Say hello to your back. We're going to drift over to your left and slowly rise. Stretch your low back, your mid back, your upper back. And when you arrive at the top, let's circle the shoulders back and down. Breathe. Gently shift weight right to left. Elbows circle. Use your eyes to say hello to your space. Arms circles. And bring the arms front. Excellent. Elbow circles. Saying hello to your hips. Shoulder circle. Standing tall. Let's slowly melt down to the left. Rise up. Melting down to the right. And up. Over to your left. Right shoulder rolls front. Slowly melt one vertebrae at a time. Drifting over to your right. And slowly rise. Reaching the fingers out, shine bright like the star you are. Twinkling the fingers and leaning side to side. Stretching and reaching into your space. Let's imagine we're hugging a giant tree now. Exhale, drop your head. Inhale, arch. Exhale, undercurve. Drop your head. Stand tall. Let's repeat that again. Hug a giant tree. Drop your head. Inhale, arch. Exhale, undercurve. Stand tall. Reaching up. Reaching front. Reaching out. Left to the right, up and up. Twist it out. Let's bring both hands high. Sending some love to yourself. Gently swaying from side to side. Inviting in peace and freedom, possibility. Sending love to your friends and your family. Sending love to your acquaintances. The cashier at the grocery store. Sending out love to your enemies. Sending out love to the entire world. Let's slowly bring the hands up. Thank you very much.
Welcome to the golden age.
Oh, thank you, Casey. I think we all needed that. We definitely all needed that a little bit. Thank you so, so much. We're going to go to Danalia in a moment, but I want to take a moment to encourage us to support a dear friend of mine. And this is our beloved brother, Don Drake. And I'm bringing Don up onto camera. Don is a longtime member of our Global Peace Tribe. He actually lived in my home for a while. And he is a wonderful, wonderful man. And it's time for us to support Don. So I started today a GoFundMe for him. Don, if you can unmute, I'd love for you to share a little bit with the audience what's going on with you.
Yes.
What this support's going to help you with.
Well, first of all, I want to say it's just been wonderful being here tonight. It's just blown me away. And it's not just tonight. It's like every time, Scott, you do a show, you bring the best people on, and it just moves me, and I think it moves a lot of people. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you for doing this GoFundMe for me. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
Well, folks, after years of doing all kinds of spiritual work and having many experiences and different things going on, sometimes we reach points in our life where hardship comes up. And in my case, that has shown up as chronic fatigue for a number of years. And then recently, I found out that I have cancer. And it's prostate cancer, which initially when I heard it, I thought, well, this may be just watch and wait kind of thing. And then I found out from another test that I may have a more aggressive kind. And one of the great blessings is that because of all the work I've done and because of the heart-opening work that I do, and that I'm in good shape mentally for all of this sort of stuff, but I really need some help to be able to get the kind of alternative, complementary work that I can't get from my regular insurance. And so actually I'm really tired right now. And I was on the show a couple of weeks ago and I had taken a spill and I actually cracked a couple of vertebrae. So I'm dealing with a certain amount of pain, more than I'm used to. But because of the amount of love that I've received just from the people around me, I feel lifted. And there's something about opening your heart and letting grace in that takes the sting out of pain. And one thing I learned a couple of weeks ago when I was on this show I didn't know then that I had actually cracked vertebrae, but I felt like I was being cracked open. And I started to, there was a healing that you all did for me. And it just moved me. I just started weeping. And I realized I don't, for all these years I've done stuff for other people. I don't let it in. Well, something happened that night, and there's a reason why I hit the floor hard this morning. I was supposed to go up to Harvard Hot Springs, and that was going to be great and everything, but something more important needed to happen. I needed to come on Scott's show to have my heart cracked open. Not as bad as getting your ribs, your vertebrae cracked a little bit, but anyway, it's just wonderful being here, and so I appreciate any kind of support you can throw my way. And what my vision is I see that I'm going to get well, and if I don't, I am. I say, I'm 73 now. I'm in the last chapter of my life. I don't know if it's going to be a long chapter or a short chapter. All I know is I am here to serve, and through this hardship, that we're all going through. It's not just me. God, looking at the movie and looking at those children and just opening up occasionally to open up to feel the pain of the world. There's something about that cracks our hearts open, and it makes us more available. So I am so blessed to be able to. I volunteer with some other groups, and we're working on helping people go through this transformation of the opening up, raising Kundalini, bringing Shakti up, more Shakti, cultivating equanimity, and that's what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And I do this all on a volunteer basis. And what I do is I take donations when people want, and money seems to show up when I need it. And I'm just feel so blessed to be here and to be part of the global peace tribe. So thank you again, Scott. Thank you.
My pleasure. And I've put the link into the chat box, and just want to share with people what it looks like. And I just donated, so I started you off with a little donation there while you were talking. So I've got him off to a start. I may help make the GoFundMe for him, and let's all support Don, okay? And let's help him with both love energy, sending Don maximum grace, and also let's help him with green energy. And again, it's in the chat box. For those who are watching on Facebook, if you go to my Facebook page, I'm going to post it right there, and you'll be able to find the link. And let's all bless Don with maximum grace and maximum green energy. Much love to you, Don.
Thank you.
All right. Donna Leah, thank you so much for your patience. Wow, what do you want to share with our audience tonight?
So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Danalia Castell, and it's my mission to assist a group of beings on our planet I call the nature elders. So I'm particularly allied with those water, rock, and tree. So there might be mountains, glacial boulders, trees, rivers, waters, etc. And as I'm sure you are very well aware and are probably in relationship with these nature elders, these relatives are willing and able to communicate directly to us. And so it's my mission to provide a space where we can invite them in and we can converse with them directly. And so the listening field is what this space is called. And I just wanted to say off the top that, the listening field emerged during lockdown in 2020. So it was one of those things that was a gift of that time. And over the past 3 years, with the help of Unity Earth and World Unity Week and over 1,000 human beings and nature elders, this field has been developed. But this summer I had an opportunity, but by Spirit's nudging, to bring the listening field onto land and in person. And so I returned recently from a 2-week trip in Nova Scotia. So that's the Atlantic provinces. I'm on the western province of British Columbia. And I wanted to just share that, we did 5 different listening fields in 5 different locations, and over 46 people participated. These were all local people who came to open their own personal relationships with various nature elders at these locations. And one of them was a place called Turtle Song. And one of the nature elders was a grandmother oak tree. And all of us, when we came close to her field, we were filled with this incredible sense of love and peace. And with each of these elders, I go the day before, or I go at least before I'm bringing the group there, and I introduce myself. I say why I'm bringing people there. And I say, are you willing to converse with us? We had some group questions, and they all did say yes. And then I asked them, what would you like to talk with us about? And the reason I'm mentioning this is because this grandmother oak elder said, I would like to offer you some of my medicine. And it was an energetic transmission. There wasn't any language for any of us, but it was to help us fully receive. So I'm sure there's many of you in the audience who are givers, who are service-oriented and very comfortable with giving and offering. But we may be out of balance with receiving. So I just really wanted to call on Grandmother Oak Tree Elder to really come and connect with Drake's heart and really open him up wide to receive all of what he requires in order to thrive in your current situation, not just survive, but thrive. And there's many, many new ways that can look. So blessings to you, dear brother. So I'd like to go right to a few key beliefs. I was really liking what David was talking about when he was saying, if we have a compelling vision about what's possible and the means to achieve it. And the listening field is definitely one of those means to achieve it. When we open these fields, whether I'm doing a private session, a group session, and I did something recently with Christie's Mary Magdalene group, or a group, a session with an organization, the nature elders come and they respond to us. So it works. And I wanted to say that the beliefs that I really live by and that are part of, I believe, the new world of peace with nature, because we need peace with nature as much as we need peace with each other, is one, humans are designed to consciously co-create with the natural world. So this is something we are born to do. And we are remembering. So we're starting from that place that we're designed this way, and not just to befriend them, but to actually co-create with them. And the next one is direct communication between humans and nature elders is normal and natural. So it's not weird and woo-woo. More and more of us are realizing that this really is normal and natural, and we just come away from that. The other one is that nature elders can be invited to speak at any kind of meeting or gathering. And I kind of jokingly call myself that I'm in cahoots with Water, Rock, and Tree, and I'm kind of like their booking agent. So if there's somebody you would like to speak to, I can arrange it. And it doesn't matter if you're an individual, you're a group, or you're a business, an NGO, or an organization. If you want to have a conversation with somebody, maybe it's the nature elder who creates your product for your business. I mean, wouldn't it be interesting to actually have a conversation with them and be in partnership, in conscious partnership with them? The last piece is that interpreting and applying the messages that we get from the nature elders is an integral aspect of co-creative partnership. And this leads me to the point that I really wanted to touch in on, that really came out of Nova Scotia. And that is that we asked them questions like, what do the fires and floods mean to you? We asked them all this question because Nova Scotia, where we were, has been inundated with both of these things. And I have to tell you that we are getting the same answers to these questions over and over and over. And these are from the trees who are burning, right? They keep saying the same thing. It's simply about change. And they're inviting us to embrace change, to embrace endings, to get just as good at celebrating and honoring the endings of things as we are the beginnings of them. So I think that in terms of answering this question about how do we move on from here, I know from my own experience lately, I've needed to actually be doing some work inside myself. There are old stories that have been resurfacing, and I've discovered that there's some part of me that believed them before, but they're no longer relevant now for the world that we're being called to co-create together. So doing that work, and some of it has to do with how we talk to ourselves. And so this difference between peace and violence, we can discover it sometimes in our own speech to ourselves. So that's a commitment that I'm continuing to do in order to serve at the next level. The other piece I wanted to share with you is that what peace looks like for me and the listening field is supporting youth to make friends with a nature elder and to have them in their life. And I recently had the privilege to design and deliver a program called Nature and Me to a group of youth, predominantly Middle Eastern youth living in North Africa and Egypt and Lebanon, etc. And we held this program online. It was 5 weeks, and it was extraordinary what could happen in 5 weeks. I gave them a little bit of information about nature communication, and then it was sort of guiding them who was calling them in their environment, and then how to make that first contact. And then we had a week in week 4, and it was about problem solving with a nature elder. And this was extraordinary. So they literally went to the nature elder that they'd connected with. They shared with them a problem that was going on in their life and asked the elder to guide them. And I wanted to share with you tonight the graduation video. So each of the students made a graduation video, and I asked them to please, do something creative in it. In this case, you're going to see a poem that the young woman created. But I wanted to show you this video because for me, she's quintessentially an example of how natural it is, once you're introduced to the idea that this is even possible, to speak to a nature elder, and that there is so much hope when we imagine that, yes, as a human species, we're trying to find our way, right? We're learning. David's game, it's a lot of it's internal work, right? And new choices then that we make in the outer world. But the thing is that there is actually so much hope as we start to realize that the entire natural world is right around us, waiting for us to invite us to partner with them. And that's going to look different for every single person. And that's part of what I'm here to do, is to help people make that contact with them. So this young woman's name is Nada Fayed, and Scott is going to play the video for you. And so we're going to watch that, just 2 minutes and 39 seconds. And then I'm going to share with you also a message that she received from her tree elder. And I think you'll also appreciate then, wow, the wisdom that they have waiting to give us. We only need to ask. Thank you, Scott.
Hi, my name is Nada Fayed. I'm 22 years old. I'm from Egypt. I just want to say that this program has been an amazing journey, and it has helped me in a lot of ways. I know I've always wanted to connect with nature, but I didn't know how to go on about doing that. I didn't know if there were any specific techniques. Like I was very in the dark about the how of it. So my relationship with nature was just characterized by dismissal. I would appreciate the beauty around me, but that's about it, you know. But after this program, I feel like I've learned how to slow down, how to be present, and how to really listen to nature and reclaim my place amongst nature, and, you know, have conversations with nature elders, very fruitful conversations even. So I feel like it fulfilled a deeper, you know, sense of connection that I've always desired. And yeah, I'm just never gonna feel alone now, because a tree is not just a tree in the normal sense that I used to have. The sea is not just the sea, but they're my friends now. I have friends everywhere, and I feel like that's the most exciting thought ever. And I feel like I could actually utilize this to also help with my mental health. And I also wrote a poem to express how meaningful this journey was to me. So here it goes. Guidance and connection are everywhere. They are all around us at all times. I know now I can easily feel grounded because I am inseparable from this earth. I belong amongst my nature friends, an interbeing ambassador wired to connect. Now that I know how much intimacy can be found in my relation with these roots, how Mother Nature holds out its arms to welcome you home, there's not a place in the world I don't want to come back home to. The trees are laughing. I'm laughing too. For when you reach out to nature, it reaches right back into you. You will be answered, so you may always seek. It's a secret language you find is learned with astonishing ease. More like remembering, not discovering. When you listen closely, you can hear it spoken softly. Trees, air, sun, rain, sand, rivers, and seas all chant in perfect union. You are rooted, you are here. I am you, and you are me. Welcome home.
Thank you, Scott. And I just like to acknowledge that Yellow versus Blue is it's a youth-led UK nonprofit organization. And so they're very committed to offering programs for youth, peer-led, for mental health, and for free. And so I wanted to just say that we have run this pilot program. In addition to this, we have lots of beautiful evaluations from the youth about the value of it, as well as more incredible videos. So we are looking for sponsors. And if anybody knows of anyone who might be interested in sponsoring this kind of program for youth and mental health, I'd love to hear from you. So I want to just share with you that this young woman, when she spoke about a fruitful conversation in this week 4, she asked this very old tree elder living on the edge of the Nile River in Cairo. And she said he was very old, and he was really bowed over, and he looked like he was partly in the water and part out. And so she was having a relationship problem. And so she asked the tree elder what guidance he had for her. The tree elder said, "It's the moments that you can get away with being cruel that it matters most that you be kind. It changes everything. It's the moments that you can get away with being cruel that it matters most that you be kind. It changes everything." Amazing, huh?
Powerful wisdom.
I know. Like, oh my goodness. I'm going to just put that in the chat, because it's, it's one of those things that it's just this is what I'm talking about. Like, they say things and my jaw drops. And, just so you know, we all have our own relationship with nature. So, you could talk to that tree elder and you'd receive something else. And that's what I love about this concept of bringing our collective wisdom together, the nature elders and the humans, because we do this is an alchemy of humans and nature elders. This is us working together. Yeah. So
I want to take people to your website.
Okay, please.
Which is thelisteningfield.life. Thelisteningfield.life. And I've had the good fortune of Daniela took me on a private journey, and I had this incredible connection to the orange trees that I grew up with when I was a little boy. The house I lived in for the first 16 years of my life, and we had orange trees out in front, and I had this whole connection to them. And each person's experience, of course, is unique and different, but I really encourage everybody to experience what you bring. Thank you so much for helping us to connect to nature in such a beautiful way, Daniela.
Thank you. You're welcome, Scott. And I want you to just say what you saw was a landing page. We're building the website right now. And I do have an offer for people. I am now doing private listening fields for people. And for the first 4 people, you can sign up at the listeningfield.life for the email list there. And for the first 4 people, I've got a special discount for the session. It's excellent if you're in a big life transition, difficult making a choice, a life decision. If you are wanting to bring a nature elder into a project, or you're wanting to heal or transmute a chronic problem, something that you haven't been able to heal. The nature elders have a way of showing you a new perspective that helps people make decisions quickly and easily. So I'd love to hear from you. People are having extraordinary results from these kinds of sessions. So thank you very much for having me, Scott.
Absolutely. And again, if you go to the listeningfield.life, and then right there, you can just book a session and definitely join her email list so you can be in touch with everything that she's doing. And perfect timing, Ben Bowler is here. There's Ben at an airport. Hey, Ben, congratulations. You did it, brother. You had an amazing week.
We really did, Scott. We did it. We did it together. And boy, oh boy, I'm at Vancouver Airport now. It's been a pretty intense journey together. It was wonderful having Daniela there with us in the Hub House. And it was amazing, as always, having the Awakening World, the Global Peace Tribe, join hearts across the world to celebrate this Peace Week 2023. Feeling very full, slightly exhausted, but I think that's a good sign that we together gave it everything we have. And, it was an amazing collaboration. Of course, having John and Summer there and all the other beloveds who were there. And then in one world, all those Zoom rooms, all those convergence rooms, Reverend Becky and Ingrid, and so many heroes, Tex, and so many people, contributed to this. And it just fills all of us with a sense of what's possible when we come together, connect, we collaborate, we listen, we show up together, and we say yes. We bring our gifts. Omashar, it's great to see you. The musicians that really were at the heart of this Peace Week. Just feeling really grateful, and I couldn't let the moment pass to come on and say thank you, Scott, to you and to the community. And there is a wonderful, wonderful place where you can get a lot of the broadcasts that went out through Hubcast on Unity Earth TV. Scott, you could probably bring that up. It's a Vimeo playlist, and just take a moment to go through it. I haven't had a lot of time to do it myself, but
Becky.
Derek Grimm.
Becky came on, and Becky took us through that.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful, magnificent, magnificent.
Yeah.
So thank you, Brother Scott, and thank you for bringing me in here. I'm sorry I couldn't host it. I was in transit from Surrey to the airport over the last hour or so. But just really, it's a good way to complete Peace Week for me to be here with all of you, and much, much, much love and much respect.
Congratulations. I'm going to go to gallery view. Let's all twinkle Ben, who did an amazing job, and the Unity Earth team for putting together this incredible Peace Week. He's been working on it for a long, long time. And thank you, Ben. Are you on your way back to Australia?
Yes, brother. I'm on my way back home, back to Melbourne. I've got a 14-hour leg to Sydney. Looking forward to sleeping some of that. Great to see Keishi here and you, Scott. And just take one program. Look at the artist catalyzing evolution. And if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you watch it, when you can. But it is just a great example of hearts and genius and hope coming together and colliding in these convergences. It was absolutely exquisitely beautiful. Under the coordination of Kristen Hoffman, who of course today received the Unity Earth Champions Award, and was so thrilled, and you can't imagine someone more worthy. Of course, I'm preaching to the converted, I know that,
She sent
about
me a
Kristen
text
Hoffman. But
message, Ben. She was so excited. She sent me the photograph of the award. She shared with me how it was a total surprise, and you had kind of collaborated with her boyfriend Troy to make it a big surprise, and it really just blew her away. She was super excited. And we've
yeah, well,
actually we've played two
please
of her
go ahead.
songs today that Casey has danced and moved to. And once again, here's the award that Ben and his team to her, the Keeper of the Flame Award, sent from Kristen to us because she was so excited about it.
Yeah, so beautiful, so beautiful. And we're so blessed, aren't we, Scott, with all these incredible beings coming together on the planet at this time. And again, I just want to thank you, brother, for the holding the space and for keeping the drum beat going and keep, paddling down that magic river and the magic canoe that we're all participating in. But so the awakening world is a blessing, and we're just so grateful to be on this journey together.
My pleasure. Thank you, Ben, for jumping in. We love you very much. And I will see you on Wednesday at your weekly event.
Looking forward, brother. God bless you, and God bless everybody. Thank you so much.
Take care, brother. All right, we're winding down. We are going to have our group healing with Uda, but my good friend Eden Amadora wanted to contribute something. And she made a little video for us, and it's a sing-along. So I'm going to put into the chat box the words. It's very simple, and what you'll see is it's like almost like a call and response. She'll sing a line, and then keep yourselves muted. But I want to encourage everybody to go ahead and sing this at home. And the idea is for us, as we wind down and get ready for the group healing, to really feel the vibration of peace ourselves. So here is our dear friend Eden, who's going to be co-hosting the show with me 2 weeks from tonight. But here's Eden, and let's all sing along with her. Oh, I just put it into the chat box. There are the words, and here we go. Here's Eden.
Hi, everybody. What an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Scott, for having me. I would love to share a peace song with you that instead of just singing it to you like entertainment, I'd love to invite you to sing with me. I'm going to sing it once, and then I'll gesture for you to sing like call and response. So here we go. Deep peace of the running waves to you, deep peace of the quiet earth, deep peace of the flowing air to you, deep peace of the silent stars. May peace, may peace, may peace fill your soul. Let peace, let peace, let peace make us whole. So you can feel that and how wonderful it is for your own sweet heart to sing these words and feel that vibration with me this time. I'll gesture when it's your turn. Here we go. Deep peace of the running waves to you. Deep peace of the quiet earth. Deep peace, the flowing air to you. Deep peace of the silent stars. May peace, may peace, may peace fill your soul. Let peace, let peace, let peace make us whole. And now we'll put it all together. I'll sing it with you. Let's sing it one last time and really just feel that peace within your heart and for the one heart. Here we go. Deep peace of the flowing air to you, deep peace of the quiet earth, deep peace of the running waves to you, deep peace of the silent stars. May peace, may peace, may peace fill your soul. Let peace, let peace, let peace make us whole. I flipped one lyric, so let's do it one more time. This time, really put your heart and full soul into it. I'm trying to show this beautiful peace stuff too. Here we go. Deep peace of the running waves to you, deep peace of the quiet earth, deep peace of the flowing air to you, deep peace of the silent stars. May peace, may peace, may peace fill your soul. Let peace, let peace, let peace make us whole. Only love, everyone. Happy peace.
Thank you so much, Eden. That was absolutely amazing. That was beautiful. I hope you all got a chance to sing that and feel it. And we're going to have the group healing in a moment, but we are going to go to our closing song with beloved brother Omashar.
Use what you
journey that you took on your own. There are others going with you, yet you do it all alone. All you need is courage. Spirit is with you and the outcome is assured, so there's no need to worry, no reason for fear. You will feel much lighter.
A wonderful song, and I love that even at 9 o'clock at night, we've got a whole group of people up dancing.
I know, right?
Pretty cool.
It's just the energy is it's just insidious. It just lifts us all up, and loved everyone dancing, and felt so honored to have beloved Keishi singing to one of my songs, dancing. Excuse me.
That's right. Is that something having Keishi dancing to your song? Is that?
I know, right?
Right?
I will, yeah, remember this forever, Keishi. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Omashar. Thank you, Keishi. And thank you, everybody, for hanging in there. I originally given David a half an hour, and of course, he took an hour, and it was an amazing hour. So it all worked out. And, we learned how to be as flexible as we possibly can be. All right, so we have been concluding our Saturday nights with Christic energy system healings. And to introduce tonight's healer, I'm going to turn it over to Deborah Juliet. And thank you, Deborah, for organizing this.
It's my pleasure, beloved Scott. It's my pleasure for this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful group and tribe, beautiful tribe of wonderful souls. So yes, I want to invite you one more time to for the second time on this show right now, to really get this blessing, this tremendous blessing that it is from my beautiful, I have no other words than sister in Germany right now, who woke up for us at 5 o'clock in the morning. So our our 8 p.m. is 5 a.m. in Germany. And so 1000 Dank, mein Schatz, ich liebe dich, 1000 Dank. I got to speak German to her. And yes, I just would love to remind you all this amazing power that lies behind the Christic energy that is passing through Uta in that moment. She is one of our grandest powerhouses in the community. There is no doubt, and yeah, that cosmic light transforms all our souls, all our bodies, and all our minds, because the peace that we saw today, this amazing flame, like my beloved Gandhi says, be the change you want to see in the world. And peace of mind, this was definitely what stayed with me from this beautiful video that the Buddhist monks were saying, peace always starts in our mind. And I know that Uta will change all our minds into peace. If there's anything left, she's got to be profound, because she's profound. Made in Germany. So beloved, just enjoy her. And yeah, what would you like to say? How is the energy right now in Europe?
Thank you, beloved Deborah, for your introduction, and also thank you, Scott, for this wonderful show. I will see the show completely in the replay because I decided to go to bed this night and rest a little bit to have the power for this group healing. yeah, the energies are very powerful now at this moment because we are still in a wormhole. And mention this is a quantum elevator. It's the perfect time to purify your system. You can end up anywhere. It's very, very important to center yourself in these powerful times. The wormhole is open till the next new moon. I think it's the middle of October. So the perfect time for healings. And it's an honor to be here right after the equinox. The energies are still very, very powerful, the equinox and the wormhole. So it's the perfect timing, the divine timing. And I know it's late for you, and you're still 3 hours in this show, in this beautiful show. So I would see to make it short, but I never can say it before because the energy is calling, and it's the divine timing, and we will see what we can do this night. So I invite everybody to have a sacred space for yourself. And it's late, so maybe you can switch off the camera and lay down in bed. And after this, you can go into your sleep if you want. So please take 3 deep breaths into your belly to soften your mind and open up your heart. Make sure that you're connected with the Mother Earth, with the diamond in the core of Mother Gaia. One easy way to connect with Mother Gaia is to set the intention that your light go through your light column, your column of light, down into the earth, go through all the different layers and connect with the core, with the diamond, shiny, wonderful core of Mother Gaia. Feel the energy coming from the earth up into your heart. Feel this unconditional love coming from Gaia. And feel also the gratitude. And it's also important to feel the connection with spirit. So set the intention that your light goes up to our sun and goes through the sun like a portal to the central sun. If you don't know where it is, just set the intention. And connect with the central sun and feel also the unconditional love and the gratitude coming from the central sun. Take this energy into your heart. Open up your heart like a flower. Take 12 deep breaths into your heart. And I will use this time to build up our healing container. And in a few seconds, we will start with a prayer. I put us into a circle, sitting in a circle around all the people in this show and also the people who wants to watch this show later in the replay. Above there is a cosmic cube, an energy portal, streaming Christic energy into this field. This is such a powerful intelligence, actually coming from the future timeline. And we bring it now into this moment to rejuvenate and regenerate and to purify. Uta Jäger, call upon the cosmic Christ, supreme intelligence, to support and facilitate this group case holding session. I ask permission from all receivers present to receive this group holding with the highest good and divine grace for all involved. This is where each of you can say yes out loud. I request on behalf of everyone present on this show and everyone watching the recording to become aligned for the duration of this session to the divine intelligence of Christic energy system, with grace, with ease, and with joy. I invite the cosmic Christ energy to connect with us now in the most appropriate way for all involved. May all that transpires in this microcosmic reflection of our group constellation support and uplift the ascension of the entire human collective and all sentient life. I also call forth assistance from the divine Heavenly Mother and Heavenly Father presence to overlight this group container with pure, unconditional love from the Most High. May all be known through this connection of pure love, so that group holding session anchors in us in the most benevolent way. Hosanna, Hosanna, Hosanna in the highest. Thank you. And so it is. Still of mind and clear of heart, I enter now into the cosmic portal of holding, where the higher self of all people in this container awaits. With open heart, complete trust and surrender, and in the name of the divine cosmic Christ, I ask now for the manifestation of the highest timeline reality for all people in this group container, to become realized of mind, body, and soul with gentle lessons and graceful process, and increase this holding as much as the cosmic law, physical body, and everyone's soul shall allow. I choose now to live in the reality where the healing has already been accomplished. The fates have been altered and our prayers answered through the holy presence of love. While honoring the free will of all, I give my complete thanks and gratitude for all that has already occurred through your mighty presence and thin eternal light. I am free. The soul is free. All is free. And so it is. Dear beloveds, open up your system and receive in silence. I do a sweep bottom up through our container to release energies that don't assist anymore. We start with the Earth Star, a few inches below your feet. And we go up to your feet. Also the energy, the Christic energy is spiraling around your feet in a clockwise way. Soften your body. Relax. And receive. And we go to your knees. And to your root chakra. And release. Let it go. And we go to the second chakra. The most purification we need is located in the upper chakras. So let it go. All the emotions, which doesn't serve, let it go. And we go to the solar plexus. This chakra is connected with our mental body. So observe your thoughts and let them go. Make your mind empty. Empty your mind. And now we go to our beautiful heart. The Christic energy is spiraling clockwise around your heart. And removing all the stuff we don't need anymore. And we go to our throat chakra. Open it up and let it go. And we go to our first eye. And to our crown chakra. And to our soul star, which is a few inches above our crown chakra located. Wonderful. Now I'm later to invite some rays. And we may connect with the ascended version of Jupiter. And the yellow sapphire ray, the yellow ray, is connected with the ancestral level, with the ancestral body and the solar plexus. Just tune in your solar plexus. I call forth the ascended version of Jupiter and the yellow sapphire ray. To purify the ancestral plane. The whole space, the whole healing chamber is turning into yellow, a wonderful yellow color. Maybe you can see or feel your ancestrals. Be graceful for them. And allow to clear the space, the programs and imprints we take with us from our ancestrals. The energies we don't need anymore. Let it go. This energy goes very deep. It goes to the core wound to bring you back into more holding and healing. Observe this yellow sapphire ray. Feel it in all cells of your body. And we go to another ray. We go to the emotional ray. We go to the opal essence ray. It's coming from Venus and connected with our sacral chakra. I call forth the ascended version of Venus and the opal essence ray. to purify the emotional plane. The opal essence ray is a very shiny ray. It shines like a diamond in the different rainbow colors. Feel this light around your body, coming into your body, into all the cells of your body. Going into your organs, your brain, into your skin, receive and let go. Let go what doesn't serve you anymore. We amplify this energy wonderful. And now we removed so many energies. And we created new space. We created a vacuum. And now we are going to invite a virtue to put in this vacuum. And the virtue we are going to invite is the unconditional love. I call in the virtue unconditional love. So this is a good moment to open up your heart again, to connect with your heart and feel the unconditional love streaming into your field, filling all the space. And purify. Upload, upload, upload. the pure unconditional love coming from Source. No judging, no comparing, only unconditional love from the purest. And visualize we are still sitting in a circle, having this golden cube, cosmic cube, above our heads. And the cosmic cube is streaming the unconditional love, this virtue, to your heart and to your system. This is a really powerhouse. Receive as much as you can. And I feel that this session is complete for this moment. And I slowly close the container. We send back the cosmic cube to the central sun, to Source, to the divine. Beloveds, the container is closed. So I invite you to come back if you wish, or fall asleep. This is also possible and okay. Take a few deep breaths into your body. Feel your body again. This makes it easier to come back in the here and now. Move your hands. And I thank Spirit and the Divine for this session, for this wonderful support. And I thank you for being here and to receive. All my love to you.
Thank you so very, very much, Jutta. So beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for getting up so early in the morning to be with us. It's been a beautiful way to conclude what's been an absolutely beautiful evening, a beautiful peace week. May we take the healing, the inspiration that we've heard tonight and carry it forward in our lives throughout this week. Thank you, everybody. And we still have 32 beautiful souls still with us. So look forward to seeing you all next Wednesday night for the Awakening World. And thank you again, Jutta. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful Sacred Sunday tomorrow.
Sleep well.